What's going on, YouTube family? It's your boy Aydian here, and this is episode number 7 of Motivational Monday. Come on in. If you didn't catch my latest video to kind of catch up on where the hell I've been, you can go ahead and check that out, kind of see what is the biggest surprise I've ever had in my entire life. It's really awesome, but I don't want to spoil it, so check out that other video if you want to know where I've been for the last week. The topic for this week's video is that not everybody is going to like you. Now, I feel like this is something we all kind of know. It's one of those life lessons that you learn when you're younger and you take on to your real life, right? But what I've realized is that although this is something we all I feel like we all inherently know, it's not all something we actually practice, and the way we respond definitely means that we don't actually understand or agree with this statement. I'll give you some examples of this. So, it made a lot of sense when somebody mentioned it like this. I forget who I was speaking with, but they kind of shined some light in my head like this. And they were like, well, you know, when you do a speech, I love motivational speaking. It's really something that I thoroughly enjoy. I feel like I'm very good at it, and it's something that I'm continuously trying to grow and do more and more and more of. So, somebody was like, it's kind of like if you're doing a speech, right? And you're doing a talk, you're doing a keynote or something, and you've got a room of, let's say, 50 people. Let's just say 50 people. And out of the 50 people, you're 20 minutes into your talk, maybe you're supposed to talk for an hour, you're 20 minutes in, and you see 3 people kind of in the back, you know, kind of get up and leave. And it looks like they're grabbing all their stuff, they're not coming back at all, they are leaving. And what this person who's also a speaker, oh man, I wish I could say who gave me this thought so I can give them credit, because I can't remember it, but hopefully maybe it'll come back. So they're like, you know, you see the 3 people leave, and you find yourself compelled to reach out to those people, right? To be like, hey, where you going? Why are you leaving? The best part's coming up next, right? Or to almost shift your direction of what you were talking about to try to lure these people back in. Like, oh wait, you know, that wasn't my punchline. Come back, because, you know, the best part is yet to come. You know, you'll find yourself doing this, and if anyone has ever done any public speaking and you've looked up and you've noticed that the row of 5 people that were sitting there are no longer there, they left because they're not interested in what you have to say. Now, yeah, there might be other things. Maybe they got a phone call, maybe they have to leave because a class starts soon, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna assume, for the sake of this video, those 3 people out of the 50, they left because they weren't interested. And what this person was saying, they were like, you know, what you will find yourself doing in the beginning of speaking, when you're first learning how to speak and how to take this criticism, is that you'll find yourself trying to direct the speech at these 3 people who are leaving. And that's the worst possible thing you could do, because what you're actually doing is you're telling the other 47 people that are sitting there listening intently, who are gaining information, who are really thoroughly enjoying what you're speaking about, you're pretty much showing them no attention and telling them that you don't care about them, you only care about these 3 people who want to leave. And that's, again, the worst thing you could do, because you know what? The people that are there, the 47 people that are listening, they're really gonna get something from your speech, from your talk, you know? And those 3 people, they're not going to get it, you know? They don't want to get it. They're not there to receive the information you're willing and wanting to put forth. And that's okay. But again, it's so hard. It's so hard. Like, I've literally done speeches where I'm like, yeah, but did you see those 3 people leave? And this was, of course, before this little seed was planted in my head that has been slowly sprouting. But it's just the concept that, like, yeah, I used to pay more attention to those 3 people, and it's the worst thing you could possibly do, to try to tailor your speech around 3 people who want to leave, right? As opposed to giving respect and showing your reverence for the 47 people who are sitting there, who are paying attention, who are gaining something from what you're talking about. And so I really loved this analogy because it really put things in perspective for me. And so I've been, if you follow me on social media, or even if you've been following me on this channel for a while now, you've heard me say, and I will continue to say, because this is something I kind of learned about maybe a year or 2 ago, it's that I say, like, if I'm not your activist, like, don't spend time like talking about how bad of an activist you think I am. Go out and spend your time finding an activist that you love, that you want to follow. Or shit, if you don't find anybody that you love or follow, go be your own activist. You know, get it started, get it going, you know? Anybody could be an activist. I mean, activist is just a word that really just means like you're speaking up for something that you truly care about, right? Like we all go through fluctuations of activism and non-activism and being activists, you know? It's just a label that at this point anyone can throw on anybody, you know? As long as you're standing up for something, then you're kind of an activist, right? Everybody who shows up for the gay pride marches, you're being you're celebrating activism in that day. You know what I mean? So yeah, just being alive and being happy is part of activism. So if you're not finding the activist that you love that represents you, go find one or be one, you know, for sure. I've been trying to say that lately, like when people are like, you know, when they comment on these videos or other things like, oh, you don't represent me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, that's okay. Like, I'm okay with you not liking me. And that took so long. So I am a Cancer. I'm born July 16th. So if you're into astrology at all, like astrologists say that like Cancer is the most like emotional sign. It's the water sign, the wateriest of watery signs. And legit, I just am very attached, and I've noticed that I'm very attached to people, wanting people to like me. And it's interesting though, because I don't think that I want people to like me, but I guess I do, because I get upset when people don't like me, right? So that's a little self-reflecting there, trying to acknowledge something that I don't feel I really am, but maybe I actually am. And so again, like, just this concept of like, I'm okay with people not liking me, but it took me so long to get there, okay? And so I think this really was shown to me with the men's health thing, with the FTM magazine, when they came up with the like, this is what trans looks like, and people were telling me like, you know, because I was on the cover of the Men's Health magazine, they're like, you're not what trans looks like you don't represent me, you're not me, you're not this, you're not that, you're not, and I was just like, whoa, like, holy macrimony. Macrimony? I think I was trying to say matrimony and macaroni in the same word. Like, holy macrimony. Okay, so I was just like, holy shit. Like, I never said I was anybody but myself. Like, I only said I'm one transgender story, you know what I mean? This is my direct story. This is not everybody's story. But what I realized was that I got so hurt by these things that, like, just that people didn't like me. Just that there's still posts and threads going around right now in the world that just say, like, Aydian Dowling sucks. And, like, that has to be okay with me. It has to be okay. And you have to be okay with people not liking you, because if I tailored myself, that was always my biggest fear, right? When 2015 was going on, the whole men's health thing, people are like hating on me extra hard. I had to really realize that, like, it's okay for them not to like me, you know what I mean? And it's okay if they don't understand what I'm trying to do, but I cannot change myself and alter myself, just like we were talking about the speech. Like, you can't alter the speech for those 3 people leaving. I can't alter my true and authentic, like, I can't be authentic if I'm altering myself and what I want to say and how I want to be shown for people who don't like me. They don't even, like, they don't care. So why should I change myself for people who don't like me? So that they'll like me? Because that's not even a guarantee that they're gonna like me. They still might not like me. Right? It's a really hard concept, again, to know that, like, not everyone's gonna like you, and that's okay. But it's easily said than done, because we all have that one person who's just like, you know, Tommy doesn't like me, I don't know why. Like, why doesn't Tommy like me? Like, I'm super nice to them, like, I gave them, you know, my leftover sandwich yesterday at lunch, but they still talk shit about me. Right? And it's just like, because you're not going to please everybody. And it's really hard, because I think a lot of us are people pleasers. And we're people pleasers because we want to be liked, we want to be loved, we want to be shown that you're a good person, right? Like, we want validity in our existence on Earth, right? And so by getting validity, it gives you value, personal value. You become valued by other people, and everybody's happy, right? But what happens when you don't? Like, what if you have no value to give someone? That's okay. Like, and the only, like, the best thing I just always tell myself is that, like, I have people that, like, I don't really know that well, and I don't want to say I hate them, but I don't energetically, like, vibe well with them. And it has nothing to do with them or me. It's just that, like, for whatever reason, we don't vibe well. And maybe in the future that will change, but right now, it's not a reality for me. Like, being friends with this person or liking this person is not just in my plans right now. And I have every right to not like certain people as long as I don't treat them poorly or like go out of my way to hate on them. Like, I cannot like people, you guys cannot like people, but think about that person that you don't like. Like, they're probably like, well, why doesn't Aydian like me? What did I ever do to him? You know what I mean? And it's like, it's got nothing to do with you or what you have or haven't done. I just, you know, there's just, you know, there's certain people for certain people, okay? Like, you know, Jaylee and I talk about this a lot. I'll say something to her, right, that's like some epiphany statement that she's like, you know, I feel like is really gonna help her, but she almost just doesn't hear it, right? But then like a stranger at yoga class says the exact same thing I said, and she comes home and she's like, Aydian, this person at yoga told me this thing and it opened my mind. And I'm just like, I just told that to you. Like, I just said that before you left for yoga. But the point is that the message that I was trying to deliver to Jaylee wasn't the message that she needed to hear. Like, even though it was the same word, so it was the message she needed to hear, but it wasn't the vibrational, energetic delivery that she needed to hear it. Like, I could have said it, Joe Schmo from Idaho could have said it, but for some reason, when, you know, so-and-so from yoga class says it, it clicks. And I'm sure that we've all done this. I'm sure we've said things to people and then they've come back and said, oh my God, Billy Bob said this. And you're like, I freaking have said this for years, right? And you've also experienced it the other way where you've come to someone and said, oh my goodness, did you know this? And the person is like, I've been telling you that forever. You know what I mean? And you almost get a little upset when you're like, I've said this to you. How come when I say it doesn't matter? Because it's just not for you. It's not your message to deliver to them. It's someone else's message to deliver to them. And so that's kind of how I feel about people who don't like you. If they don't like you, it's because you're not for them in this lifetime, in this moment, on Earth right here. Maybe in the future, maybe sooner than later, maybe, you know, in another lifetime or something. But right now, it's okay. It's okay that you and that other person just don't vibe well, or that they don't like you, or that you're not liked by everybody. And it's hard. Like, I still find myself being like, oh, this one, you know, like getting 100 good likes and then one person saying something negative and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? So it is a constant thing that you have to work on, but I do think I'm so much better at people not liking me and just accepting that and knowing that there's nothing wrong with me if people don't like me. And we're talking about general likes. Like, if you like go ahead and bully someone, then they're not gonna like you. You know what I mean? But I'm just talking about like generic likes, like you're in a room full of people and these people just don't really like you for whatever reason. Like, that's okay. And you don't have to not like them, you just have to accept that they don't necessarily like you. And that makes you no less of a person, you know? So I hope that this message got across. The whole concept is just that, like, not everyone is going to like you, and that is a-okay. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. It's okay that they don't like you. It's fine. Like, don't stress it. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, don't spend time on the people who don't like you. Spend time on the people who like you, because those are the people who are gonna wanna hear from you. They're gonna take what you have to say, and it's really gonna change their lives, you know? And yeah, maybe you might say something like some epiphany statement to somebody, you know, and it could change and shift their opinion, and that's cool to take those opportunities, but don't, like, get butthurt when they don't care what you have to say, even if it is some really cool, awesome thing you have to say, because your message to them, they're not gonna hear it. Someone else might say a very similar message, and then they'll get it. And the point is that I don't care if you hear from me that trans people are normal people, that we deserve rights, that we need more healthcare, more attention, we need more visibility, we need people to respect us for the genders that we actually are, right? Like, I don't care if you hear that from me or from, you know, Joanne down the street. I just want you to get the message. I just want you to know that message. If you're really living this authentic life that you want to be living, then that's how you know. You know what I mean? Is that I don't care if you don't show up to my event. Go to somebody's event. And if you don't like anybody's event, start your own damn event. You know? It's okay to not be liked. It's okay. That is fine. You will survive. I promise. I'm not liked by a bunch of people. And look at me. I'm good. I'm so good. Do I have feelings and does it hurt sometimes? Yeah, of course. But overall, I think I'm doing alright, and I think that you will be doing alright too. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. These videos have been doing really well, and like, I know I said this before, but the comment section in these videos is on fire. Like, it is lit in a good way, okay? I'm loving the conversations. I feel like people, like 99% of everybody is being really respectful, and I'm loving that you guys are like being respectful to me too. Like, not everyone is agreeing with my videos, and that's great. Like, that's kind of the point of this video, is that like not everyone's gonna like what you have to say. So I think it's great that we're able to voice separate opinions, but still be really respectful that like we can both hold both opinions at the same time and both of them be true and valid. And you know, one person doesn't have to be right and one person has to be wrong. Like, we both have our own experiences in life, and so you could have a really good time and I could have a really bad time, and they could be valid at the same time. And so I think that's just really cool that the conversations below have been kind of like perpetuating that thought. And so it's cool. It means that we're all here, we're all learning and sharing our own motivational tools, and it's really great and awesome because that's what I wanted these videos to do. So thanks for continuing the conversation below in the comment section. Keep it up. I do read them and try to participate when I feel it's necessary. And so yeah, thanks all for watching. If you like this video and you want to show someone else that, like, you know, not everyone's gonna like you, maybe that's a message that you have to share to a friend or family member, hit that share button, leave it on their timeline, and hopefully they'll gain something from this. Really quick, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You'll get Monday motivational videos, you'll get top surgery topics, you'll get random trans topics, life updates, all that fun jazz, and also a little bit of business in there. So I will catch you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching and for hanging out. Peace.